Hello, once again. This is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. I have a question for you. Why you think America never really closed off their borders? This has been a problem ever since before Ronald Reagan. People were able to go across the border and come back. I remember a gentleman that I used to work with uh, at a hotel. This guy told me that my sister has a wedding coming up. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He said, I'm going to go get deported and I'll be back Monday. The man told me this was on a Thursday. He said, I'm going to fly down to Texas. I'm going to get deported to Mexico and I'll be back Monday, well, maybe a Tuesday. He was deported back to Mexico from Texas and he was back at work. His name was Vicente. Just to give a name to nobody don't know who Vicente. This was back in like 2003, 2004. This 20 years ago. The gentleman said, I am going to get deported. I'll be back on Tuesday. Now, my question is, why America has never closed off the borders? Remember, under Ronald Reagan allowed a lot of Cubans to travel from Cuba to Florida, right? And since before Cubans were coming over, most Obama was the eviction notice guy. He deported 3 million people. Trump put everybody in cages. Biden just playing peekaboo. Biden don't see a dang on thing. Biden like peekaboo, peekaboo. I mean, down in Florida, they just passed the SB4. Well, now they can arrest migrants for coming over. Oh, it's a mess. But think about it. Why they never closed the border? Like I said, they never closed the border because exactly what's going on in our. They just hired 52,000 migrants to work an hour. They laid off all the Americans. They believe that migrants are lazy. And Iowa, let me tell you something. That's not a black populated place. So a lot of people are like, black Americans are lazy. But Iowa have some black Americans, but it's not tons and tons of blacks live in Iowa. So those were a lot of white people possibly laid off, right? This is bad. If you don't believe me, let me play a little tape for you so you can get a full understanding of what I'm referencing.
Only later to announce 52,000 jobs for migrants.
The company's excuse, migrants are getting the jobs that Americans don't want. A human resources executive for the company telling Bloomberg the migrants have been, quote, very loyal. They've been uprooted, and what they want is stability. What they want is a sense of belonging.
Let's bring in Fox and Friends Weekend co-host Pete Hegseth. Pete, good to see you.
Yes.
But again, lower wages, taking American jobs. This was the reason why Democrats were opposed to illegal immigration 10, 15, 25 years ago. But here it plays out. This costs Americans a livelihood.
That's true. It was also the reason why.
Why you think that in these different cities, they are fighting to get work visas for the migrants? Oh, they need to work. They need to work. And I'm not saying migrants don't need to work. That's not what I'm saying. This is the reason. It's going to be a grand displacement. As a matter of fact, in this country, they just said that migrants can now carry weapons, as in guns. So it's going down, people. Don't get it twisted. It is going down.
The Chamber of Commerce crowd of the Republican Party was so resistant to Donald Trump back in 2015, 2016, dependent on importing cheap labor. He said, we're going to build that wall. We're going to stop this. I'm going to put Americans first. Wages will rise as a result. And now you've got an inversion of that with the Democrat Party saying, come on in. And then we've heard glimpses of it, right? When Nancy Pelosi said, who else?
I'm going to push back on this. I know this Fox News. In every regime, they allowed migrants to come over. Every regime get migrants that's loyal to them. Under Reagan, the Cubans became loyal to Reagan because he allowed them to work. That's why a lot of Cubans are Republicans, right? Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Who else is going to pick our crops, right? I mean, that's their mindset, and the businesses are happy to do it when there's no e-verifier, there's no consequences, and so cheaper labor for this business to produce a product. And it's not an easy job. You know, people that do those jobs, they're dirty, they're tough, but Americans should have the first shot, and they should have a good shot at a good wage.
And it's so dismissive. The language that they use, that Americans don't want these jobs. Really?
Americans had these jobs,
right?
And they lost them.
Correct.
Exactly.
And if you thought about paying, if Americans are doing the jobs, they're going to raise the wages for the jobs too. That's all good for everybody.
Yeah.
Shifting gears now to this, the Biden administration is sending an additional $25 million to Haiti, as 80% of Port-au-Prince is now under control of violent criminal gangs. And now the White House is actively discussing using the U.S. naval base in Guantanamo Bay to process migrants if Haitian refugees flee to the U.S. en masse. Pete, what do you make of this? Because again, you could just pick apart the refugee part of how many more many more people are we going to?
Guantanamo.
I mean, I served there. If we want to use it for that, we can. There's plenty of space. They've done it in the past. Yes, Gitmo is known in the popular conscience for the detention center after 9/11, but it's long been a place where they've held folks that are fleeing via sea. That was me as a young platoon leader in 2004 at Guantanamo Bay for a year. Ultimately, you know what they did with people that landed ashore or we interdicted with naval ships? They were repatriated. You know what repatriation means? Sent back to your country. That's the difference here. Do you think the Biden administration is going to repatriate, or does Gitmo become a giant processing center by which they easily then transport them to the United States? So Gitmo would work great. Depends on how they plan to use it.
And processes in air quotes because they don't really vet these people very well at all.
So
when I read this next story, I immediately thought of you. Rachel and I were going to do this on a podcast. I'm like, no, we shouldn't do it unless we have someone like Pete to talk about it. So the words duty,
let's
honor.
pause that there. They're talking about some other stuff, but let's go and continue on topic, right? Let's get back on topic just a little bit. The point that I'm saying is, this not a good thing. This is not a good thing, right? Let's go back. Okay, let's see. All right, so according to Scripps News, the corporation said last week that is looking to recruit some of the thousands of asylum seekers who have landed in the New York City. What people don't understand, what makes this so significant, is that they are preparing to give them a livable wage, good health care, good child care, and the Americans that you so-called say that did not want to work in these places, they are now out of a job, landed on their face. Because now we have new people, and the trope is, and you heard it on Fox News, oh, they're doing the jobs Americans don't want to work. And that's the trope that keeps going on. Black Americans are lazy. Black Americans don't want to do their job. Well, we'll bring you in because you're lazy. That's the trope. The initiative may ease the burdens of local officials who have expressed worries about the increasing number of migrants using the city's resources. It would give these migrants access to temporary accommodation, meaning homes, right? Childcare, legal assistance, and a $16.50 hourly wage. So they're not paying them 100% chump change. Tyson Foods is facing boycott demands because it plans to employ migrants to work in its plants after shutting the owl factory this week. At a job expo in New York City in recent weeks, the corporation employed scores of asylum applicants from Colombia, Venezuela, and Mexico. They traveled to work at the company's Humboldt, Tennessee chicken facility. In the wake of Tyson's wave of closures, of poultry and meat processing facilities in Iowa, Virginia, Arkansas, Indiana, and Missouri, activists are pleading with customers to cease purchasing the company's goods. Now, slow down right there. Now, you know people going to eat that chicken. You can say whatever you want to, but they're going to eat that chicken mindlessly. People are going to eat that chicken mindlessly. It's just not a good thing that so many people are laid off, but people are not going to stop eating chicken. They just are. They accused Tyson of abandoning U.S. born workers in favor of cheaper migrant labor, citing the company's efforts to recruit thousands of asylum seekers in New York at $16.50 per hour, along with free immigration attorneys. Do you think that you don't think that they're going to jump at this? They're not only going to jump at it, they're going to double dutch and do a cartwheel, backflip, hopscotch, and everything else while they stand in line to apply for this. Because the worst ghetto in America is better than some of these shanty towns that some of these people came from. According to Open Secrets, Tyson's $13 million a year CEO, Donnie King, faces difficult concerns about the boycott. No, it's not really difficult. We'll lay your ass off and we'll bring these people in. Not really hard, as simple as that. King has been leading the company since 2021. During that time, it has contributed to the campaign funds of Nikki Haley, President Joe Biden, and other individuals. So you can see that he's not really a Biden, a Trump supporter, and that's what it seemed like to me. Excuse me. The Biden administration has faced calls to tighten border security, to lower the number of border crossings as local governments across the U.S. have struggled to grapple with the increase in migrant populations. According to Scripps, however you pronounce it, the corporation said this week that is looking to recruit some of the thousands of asylum seekers who have landed in New York City. The initiative may ease the burdens of local officials, so they are sweetening the pot. They are not scared to sweeten the pot, people. It also gives these migrants access to temporary accommodation. Now, that's being redundant. According to Reuters, Tyson made the news on Monday after announcing that it would close a 1,200-person factory in Perry, Iowa, due to the decline in demand for certain goods. Tyson has closed 6 factories in the last 12 months. The two announcements sparked outrage from some conservative critics, took aim at Tyson Foods over their announcement to hire new migrants. Tyson is selling out Americans and hiring illegal immigrants. This Jay's after the food company shut down this 1,200-person pork facility in our Tyson is now partnering with a nonprofit refugee group to hire thousands of illegals. This is blatantly American lads, right? And these are all the people they say boycott. Boycott Tyson, Bocos, Jimmy Dean, Hillshire Farm, Sarah Lee, Brian. It's a whole bunch of companies that we need to boycott on this list. It's on full mass. You could tell yourself if you want to boycott that list, but this is what's going on, people. Americans have been moved from the pot. 52,000 migrants. If you think it's a game why America hasn't shut down the border, you out your French toast mind. America knows exactly what it's doing, and is doing it in its own mindset. It's doing it in its own mindset. So, nevertheless, we're going to stay on top of these type stories because guess what? At the end of the day, the migrants are here to replace you as an American. As an American, Americans are being replaced. If you think for a second that Haitians are not going to cross that border in Florida, and some of these are great people. They're going to come here, but their goal is to replace you. They're not here to play. They're going to take less wages. The American dream is gone. And you got to make a decision because I'm going to make a video. how one president want to take away the country and one country want to give the country away. One president want to take the country and another one want to give it away. We are in a conundrum, people. But nevertheless, 52,000, and that's just at one company. Start looking at the Legos, how they fall, how they're going to be other companies that are going to be seeking out migrants. They're going to pay for their lawyer fees. They're going to give them housing. They're going to give them childcare, and they're going to come in some of the most rural places like our. They're going to beef up their population. They're going to spread the pot. For example, what's the population? Let's come over here. Let's look. Let's look. Let's look. What's the population of our Perry hour? Let's look at that. Perry hour population. So look at that. Population right there is not even 8,000 people. So automatically, you are bringing in some of these places more people that's even there. That's going to start making some of these cities explode. So be mindful, people. I'm going to keep making these type videos because they're relevant. They didn't shut the border on purpose because they're here to replace you. Be mindful. You're an American. You are expandable because the American dream in the eyes of these corporations is dead. Their bottom line is money first, not American first. Nevertheless, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe as we're going to be coming back to you with more and more videos in the future. And once again, we will see you next time. Hit that notification bell, hit the like button, spread this video. You see what's happening. You see what's happening.